Most of my fantasies are sexual based, but a lot of times they dive into the what would it be like if I was with this girl? And then that red pill kicks in. What's up, everybody? It's Mojo Libido here. So, you might be like, why the hell are you chuckling? I don't know, because I was having some crazy thoughts this morning. It's a beautiful morning. I'm walking to go ahead to do some work. And I've been watching these crazy ass videos about these libtards out here, you know. But it really just, things just, you know, sometimes this stuff gets me to stir the pot in my brain. And I started thinking about the fact that ever since I went MGTOW, like fully embrace the MGTOW philosophy, it more of a natural thing than anything. My sexual encounters have gone down a lot, considerably. And when I look back, it's really by choice. And it's still by choice. And that's the difference between, for me, what constitutes someone who's an incel or someone who's voluntarily celibate. But technically, I'm not voluntarily celibate because, you know, there's still things like masturbation and stuff. And to be quite honest, it's not like I'm not going to ever have sex again. It's just that given the political and legal climates right now, and the way girls act, it's kind of difficult to want to get out there and really take that risk. Now, there's plenty of guys out there who are taking the risk on a regular basis. There are plenty of women out there who are still doing their thing. But I'm a better safe than sorry type of person. Like, I'll take risks for certain things, but I'm not risking my dick or my life and career, my reputation for a piece of ass. I'd rather keep it moving. Now, I also look at what's going on when it comes to like places where I work and stuff. I have a new job. I believe I said that. I'm not sure if I did, but I have a new job where I work for an event company. Well, it's like a very elegant banquet hall. And, you know, they do parties and proms and weddings and things like that. A lot of gorgeous women pass through there of all races and ethnicities. A lot of gorgeous women I work with, mostly white girls, pretty much all white girls. And there's a handful of guys working there. But, you know, I think about where I work at, and it's the same situation that I had last job that I had at the coffee house, where I worked with the majority of females. Very pretty girls too, although those girls were of different, more ethnic races, but they were still a lot of very gorgeous girls I was working with, younger and older, and it seems to be the same way now. So I'm thinking maybe if I just sit back and pay attention to the girls that I work with, I might be able to figure out which one of these girls are the smuts and how smutty they are. And the reason why I'm doing this is because it's not like I'm looking for no waltz or I'm looking for girls who aren't smutty and slutty to fuck with. I also need to know which ones have the most mouth, who talks the most, who's willing to say certain things around people without regard to whomever. And it also gives me a place marker because, see, one thing about me, before I went MGTOW, I was completely blue-pilled and beta. I mean, I was catching the red pill when it came to certain truth, but I was really very blue-pilled and beta. And one of the things that I believe, which I think I'm going to make a video about, one of the things I believe I was going through, and I'm not sure what the psychological term was, but my term is, I wouldn't even call it the Florence Nightingale syndrome. I would just call it the, I don't know, it's like baby loves mama syndrome. I don't know what you want to call it. And I realized growing up that I was projecting all of the things that I loved about my mom onto the females that I thought were pretty, because I figured that would be what I want to have in a relationship with these girls. And what I didn't realize was, not only was I projecting the positive aspects of my mom onto them, I was projecting the negative aspects of my mom onto them. Now you might be thinking, does that mean that you wanted to sleep with your mom? No, what it means is the qualities and traits that I admired in my mom, I felt as though that's the kind of role, that's the kind of traits that I wanted to have in these girls I was dating, that I wanted to date. But it was started going past that, because I was completely ignoring my sexual side. Like, I was completely ignoring the fact that I really just wanted to smash. It's not until I actually stopped ignoring that I started realizing that I started seeing these girls for who they are. But the problem is that I still have these delusions. And what I mean by delusions is, like, I'll see a girl that's gorgeous, and if I'm working around her, like in my inner circle, or if I see her on a regular basis, I start fantasizing. And this is one of the things that I have really been trying not to do now. I've learned how to not fantasize about a girl when I'm not around them, because they don't need my time and my energy that way, because they're not going to think about me. But it's usually when I'm around them that I start thinking about that. Now, most of my fantasies are sexual based, but a lot of times they dive into the, what would it be like if I was with this girl? And then that red pill kicks in. Those red pill effects kick in. And they say, remember, remember what you're dealing with. Remember what's going on. Remember what all the other guys are dealing with. Remember your past. Okay? Remember your knowledge. And then that kicks in, and it completely throws away all of that stuff, and it really just goes back to being a sexual thing. And then I sit back and say to myself, let's see if this chick is out here doing all kinds of crazy sexual things. You know, like Coach Greg Adams says, doing monkey double black flips, riding a cock carousel with this person and that person. And lo and behold, there's always been this belief in my mind. And honestly, it doesn't matter nowadays. Girls don't give a fuck, especially the hoes. But there's always been this belief in my mind that females get very comfortable around me to the point where they don't have a problem saying whatever they want to say around me, because they're not worried about what I think of them. But like I said, nowadays, females don't give a fuck. So at work, I'm listening to these girls talk, and mind you, I'm not like purposely listening to them for the fact of being nosy and eavesdropping on what they're doing and what I really don't give a fuck what they're doing. It's about their character and their content. It's really about the character and the content of the character, because what I want to do is I want to gauge how far I could go with shit. Then again, like I said, that red pill kicks in. And it's like, the landscape for me is not ready, because I'm still too much of a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still too much of a good dude that these women will sit back and try to disrespect me by trying to ruin my life and my career or my reputation by pulling some crazy ass stunt because they don't think I'm alpha enough or whatever. So I'm listening to these girls at work talk, and some of these girls have boyfriends, and they talk about hanging out and being with other guys, spending the night at other guys' places. And I'm like, yeah, smut. I hear them say things about other guys, that they talk about how creepy they feel about dealing with certain guys, or how creeped out they feel about dealing with certain guys. And I'm like, yeah, these girls talk a lot, which is another reason why I try not to fuck with girls at work. Because especially if the girl's been at the job for the longest time. Because then, if I do start messing with a girl at work, the problem to be that they'll go around telling all the other girls at work that they're really cool with about me, you know what I mean? And in little ways, they'll talk with each other. And then, if it's not a positive thing, which I really don't give a fuck about, if it's not a positive thing, then they're gonna talk about me in the negative. And you do anything to piss a girl off, they'll throw that shit up at you. And you'll know who it was that was talking to them. A lot of disrespect there. It's another reason why I don't like fucking with girls at work. You know what I mean? I don't date, so what's the use of me even pushing myself to that limit? So I start using these things that I see about them to help keep me unattracted to them. It's like, yeah, sexually, I wouldn't mind, but I wouldn't take it farther than that. And I have a one smash and dash rule, meaning I'm not gonna fuck you after the first time. Once we do it once, that's it. Now, once could be all night, but after that, that's it. Or once could be one time. It all depends how good the pussy is. But after that, there's no more. If you're the type of guy who's MGTOW, and you know you want to fuck with females, and you know what I mean, avoid dealing with girls at work that you deal with. Avoid dealing with girls in your social circle that deal with other girls in your social circle that you know. Obviously, I always suggest and recommend that you do not be friends or fuck with any girls that you're attracted to. And if you're celibate, man, basically if you're not out there getting pussy on a regular basis, don't be upset about that, you know? Don't be upset about that. Stay the course when you see that the landscape is changing legally as far as what's happening with, you know, like girls doing false allegations of rape and stuff like that. You know, then when you're done, you can take that MGTOW mind state and go out and, you know, when you're out and about, if you happen to attract a female because you're just ignoring them and you don't really want nothing to do with them, but they throw the pussy at you, take it. Just remember to protect yourself, man. Wrap it up, because these girls, a lot of them have not stopped short of sleeping around. And to be honest, even though there's that article that came out not too long ago that said that men between the ages of 18 and 30 are having less sex these days, you know, women aren't having less sex, especially women around that age. Now, women in the age ranges of 35 to 40, 49, or 30 to 40, 30 to 45, they're not having a lot of sex. Okay, not as much as you would think. Some of them are, because if they still have their beauty and they still know how to play the game and attract guys, they're still out there riding the cock carousel. You know, but their life is meaningless. But yeah, for the most part, you know, these girls are still out there handling their business, and they're being run through. And it's like, yeah, for a fun time is one thing, but after that, it's like, why even bother? You know, you got girls out here who are still sleeping around, and multiple women are sleeping with the same dude. You know what I mean? And they're talking about it, you know? I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with all that. I don't want to talk to these girls about that. I don't want to be involved with them on that level. I honestly, I don't want nothing to do with them. Like, I just want to continue to get my life together and enjoy my life. You know, free agent, MGTOW, just doing what I do, making my money and enjoying my time. Because, you know, if I live for the next 40, 50, 60 some years, well into my 90s and 100s, I would love to be able to enjoy it with a lot of money. You know, and women are going to chase you anyway once you got that kind of money. And I'll be curving them and deflecting them like pew pew. Like, you ever play that game, Dead or Alive, when you did the parry? Like that. You know what I mean? Blocking them like Street Fighter or you think what I'm saying? Like, but like I said, man, if you guys are MGTOW, man, stay the course. Stay away from these girls that are out here going crazy, hopping on the dicks, you know what I mean? You know, promoting STDs and stuff. You better safe than sorry, because when the smoke clears, you know, whether there be a girl for you or not, you're actually going to be better off not even worried about and dealing with that. Stay the course, guys. This is Mojo Libido with a quick one here. Y'all take it easy. Stay MGTOW, stay the course.